Anyorenga vansidai. Ahe, anyorenga vansidai. Anyorenga vansidai. Ahe, anyorenga vansidai. Anyorenga vansidai. Ahe, anyorenga vansidai.
Engop.
This land mean home, mean my heritage, and mean my everything.
When I see this land, it reminds me of a lot of things. While we were young, we used to graze cattle here and the goats.
Also, it's a source of medicine here, and also just enjoying the nature. Like, it's very friendly, yet relaxing.
Some landscapes shape the people who live within them. Across the vast savanna of southern Kenya lies one of the most remarkable wildlife landscapes on earth, the Maasai Mara. But beyond the migration, beyond the lions and elephants that drove visitors from around the world, this land carries another story, a story of people. Kenya today has more than 160 wildlife conservancies that help communities protect land and wildlife. Together, they support more than 65% of the country's wildlife and cover between 11 and 16% of the country's land. Here in the Mara ecosystem, about 25 conservancies work alongside the Maasai Mara National Reserve. But as these landscapes change, an important question emerges. How do the young people growing up in these conservancies understand their land, their wildlife, and the future in conservation? To understand how these conservancies are shaping the future of conservation, we traveled across the Mara landscape, and over several weeks, we visited 6 conservancies, listening to the elders, youth leaders, and conservation practitioners speaking about the land they call home. For generations, pastoralist systems allowed wildlife and livestock to move freely across these plains. Cattle followed the rains, wildlife followed the grass. And this knowledge was shaped through generations of observing the land and living within its rhythms. But landscapes never remain the same forever. In East Africa today, more than half of traditional pastoral lands have been fragmented and converted to other land uses. As communities grew and land use changed, new pressures began shaping the Mara landscapes. Charcoal burning, agriculture, land subdivision, population growth. Living alongside wildlife has never been simple, yet there is coexistence, and it has always been part of life in the Mara. In major parts of Africa, human-wildlife conflicts remain one of the conservation's greatest challenges. But in places like Nyekweri Forest and Padamat Conservation Area, coexistence is still a daily reality. So how do communities protect both their livelihoods and the wildlife around them? Communities across the Mara began searching for new ways to protect both their livelihoods and the wildlife that surrounds them. And one good idea began to take root: community conservancies.
Sasa ziliingia tukaacha kulima, maana sasa wanyama wamekuwa wengi, na wamefunguliwa, wamekuwa free, na pia tena wakati conservancy ilianzwa wakakuja kuwalipa ama kulisi mashamba. Maana sasa kila mtu ngala baada ya 3 months mtu anapata kitu kidogo na release nayo watoto natumiwa tena hapo nyumbani.
Yes, conservancies are really helping because an investor or a tourist comes to the forest, to the Nyekweri corridor, and once they come here, they find the local communities, they interact with them, and they get interested in their works, and also the schools. So sometimes they donate to the schools, and you find a construction ongoing because of their coming.
Ya pili, kwa vijana wamepata kazi kidogo katika hiyo conservancy kwa sababu kuna wenye wameandikwa kama rangers, wengine wanafanya research, wako tu ndani ya conservancy na wanafanya research. Kuna wenye wanafanya kazi ya managing, kutengeneza kambi. Kuna kambi sasa imewekwa baada ya conservancy kukuja, kambi zikakuja. Tuko sasa na kambi 2 pale juu imeandika vijana ya hii area tu. Kwa hivyo tukiona imetusaidia kwa jumla. Tumeona faida ya conservancy.
Community conservancies have become one of the most innovative conservation models across Kenya. In many conservancies, grazing is carefully managed through rotational grazing systems. This allows livestock to find pasture even during dry seasons while protecting grasslands from overuse. For many communities, conservancies have brought both opportunity and change. They create employment, support education, and ask communities to rethink how land is used for both people and wildlife. And for conservation to succeed, many believe it must bring together knowledge from different generations. And here in the Mara landscape, conservation is increasingly becoming a shared effort.
I think so. The best is the collaboration and also exchange of knowledge between our elders and the youth. They exchange knowledge, ideas, and even as we share the innovation, the new technology for conservation to work.
A new generation is stepping forward. Young people studying wildlife management, tourism, conservation leadership, not only to protect the land, but to help lead it.
There is this perception that youth are neglected. The very fact is that they don't own land, but their parents own. So most of the time, they feel neglected when decisions are being made.
Youths want to be at the table. I could say with a quote like, stop saying us without us.
Conservation in the Mara means different things to different people. For some people, it is about protecting the future. Others, it is about strengthening communities. But for many young people, it is rescuing the land they grew up on. These are the solutions communities themselves are building.
Conservation, to me, it's about community. Because these people are the one doing the conservation. Whenever the community is satisfied, the wildlife also itakuwa sawa, itakuwa na shida.
We have the conservation restoration process. That is where we give the community members young trees, the seedlings, where we go rescue them from the forest. We give to the community.
At the age of 16, I came and understand what is conservation because the partners or the tourists used to visit us in primary schools. They teach us about what is conservation, what is wildlife. In primary school, we have what is called wildlife clubs. That's where I came and understand what is wildlife and what is conservation.
Yeah, policies making, we really want as youth to be part and parcel.
After listening to voices from different conservancies with different experiences across the Mara landscape, we concluded with one shared question. What future will the next generation build for the land that raised them? And for the young people in the Mara, the answer is not only about inheritance, it is about responsibility. Responsibility to protect the wildlife that shares their land, responsibility to protect the ecosystem that sustains their communities, and responsibility to lead conservation into the future. The future of conservation may not lie in policies alone. It may lie in the voices of the people who call this land home.
So a young lady, a young gentleman who is listening to me, especially a youth who has been born in the Mara, who has been born within this beautiful landscape. The future of this landscape belongs to us.
This is the land that raised us, and protecting it requires courage. In Ma, that courage has a name. Kepi Jasiri.
Anyorengo vansidai. Ahe, anyorengo vansidai. Anyorengo vansidai. Ahe, anyorengo vansidai. Anyorengo vansidai. Ahe, anyorengo vansidai. Ninyera ngwarabogin. Ahe, anyorengo vansidai. Ninyeru miegilromia. Ahe, anyorengo vansidai. Ninyeru miegindimi. Ahe, anyorengo vansidai.